Hello everyone, my name is Aurelia and I run the blog which is called The Best of You, and the time came, I think, to share my story, and I was led to share your story just to give some people hope who are feeling a lot of fear in these times and maybe feeling anxious. I just wanted to share the story how God healed me from cancer, and maybe it would encourage you to have greater faith in God. Okay, so my journey of healing began in 2013, where I gave birth to my second child, and I was diagnosed 10 days later with lymphoma, like a type of cancer. We sobbed, it was difficult. Me and my husband, we decided that I'm choosing the natural way, so I'm not going to go for chemos. Because prior to that, I read lots of books about people healing themselves and all natural way. And I thought, why I can't even try that? I'll try that and see. I think I will be able to do that, because I was all into law of attraction, into all new age stuff, spirituality, into meditations, and even like numerology, astrology, all these things where I was very interested in, and lots of self-help books as well. So I thought, okay, I can do that. If someone did that, I can do that. But after about a year being on raw food diets, just fruit diets, even going to Brazil to see St. John of God, he's like a medium who heals people, and I saw lots of healing happening there, but it didn't happen for me, and I just got worse. I got to the point where I was weighing 42 kilograms. I was in hospice. I was on the breathing machine, on oxygen. I was in a wheelchair. I had to use a Zimmer frame for tiny walks from the bed to the bathroom. So it was very bad. I couldn't breathe. So I agreed for chemo that time. So they gave me 6 months to live, and they gave me chemo just to buy me time. But chemo worked quite well, and after about 6-7 months, they said I'm sort of like in remission, and I was so excited. And I remember I went home to Lithuania to visit my family, and then I ended up in hospital, so I had to come back to UK, and just to find out that three months later, after being said I'm in remission, the cancer came back, what it was, and even more of it, and the breathing was even worse. So they gave me more steroids, more chemotherapy, and they kept me on antibody treatments again to buy me time. But that summer, when I was on antibodies, I remember that summer I was looking on the internet, and I saw Joyce Meyer challenge, like 30-day challenge, which said try God and see God move. And then after looking into that website, I had that inner voice talking to me, and I knew it was Jesus then. He said, you've tried everything, you've spent so much money, you've tried everything, and you just go worse. Now it's time to try me and prove me. And when he said prove me, it just, something happened inside of me. I thought, okay, if you say to prove you, that means you're going to help me to prove you. That means I have to live. I will live. Because if I die, you're not going to be proved. So it really helped me to have that motivation. And throughout the whole journey, I had ups and downs. The journey wasn't easy. I had to take some steroids and some medication. I combined faith with medicine, because I wasn't that strong walking in faith. I couldn't just trust God, so I was trusting God, and that he will work through doctors and through medicine. But from that moment I had peace. From that moment when he said try me and prove me, I knew I'm gonna live. And it happened that I was so poorly, and my doctor said, okay, let's see if you would be able to have a bone marrow transplant, which is my own cells given back to me after they delete me completely. It was very risky, not much percentage of survival rate, and what they did, that's when the main miracle for me happened, was when they connected me to the machine to collect my cells for transplant. The blood test before this procedure showed I haven't got enough of cells to be collected from me, and doctor wanted me to disconnect from machine. I said, well, we haven't got a chance, and I asked him to give it a go, to try, because I know it's going to work. And there's like a big machine where your blood circulates from many rounds, and it has to, when it detects your cells, it starts beeping, and after 15 minutes it starts beeping, and after 30 minutes, 20 minutes, nothing happening. So nurses were going to do it somehow manually, and nurses were walking towards that machine, and I started praying in tongues like Christians do, and I just couldn't care what people thought. I was just speaking in tongues and praying. At that moment, the machine detected the cells where my blood showed it's not enough there, and 16 rounds, about 5 hours, the blood was going through, and it was detecting. Every 16 rounds the blood was detected, the cells were detected. After the procedure, my doctor comes in and says I need to come back for repeat, because even if we collect some, it won't be enough. And I didn't want to go through it again. I locked myself in a spare room in the hospital, and I prayed. I said to God, give me a chance, and I don't want to go through this again, you know, because I wasn't 100% in my faith, but I just know what I wanted and what he promised to me. And after an hour, when I was back into my room, a nurse comes and says, your cells have been counted and you can go home because you have more than enough. And I'm like, yes, Jesus, thank you. I was sure it's only him who could have done that for me. And I felt so in peace. The whole transplant procedure was painful and it was not pleasant, but God got me through it really fast. I improved so quickly. I went home quickly. I started doing things, and I feel even better at the moment than I felt before disease, just because he gave me that peace of knowledge of who he is, knowing the character of God, that he always good. He never gives you disease to teach you something. That is crap from New Age. God is always good. Devil gives you diseases, but then God takes these things and turns around for good. When you dwell in his presence, when you speak to him, when you share to him your problems, he's always there, he's always listening. So my main thing, how I got into this, how I got to know God, I started reading Bible, and the first month was really hard. Day by day I would read it, like Psalms or Proverbs, Luke, John, Gospels, and it was very difficult because I couldn't understand what they're talking about. But then bit by bit, my eyes opened, my heart softened, and I received him into my heart and started believing, because faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word of God. So you have to hear his word, you have to read his word, worship. There's lots of beautiful music to worship him, which is written with the word of God, and it just gives you peace, it gives you hope, and I know I am healed, and I feel like I'm thriving. I feel so much better, and I hope you grab hold onto these truths and try God and prove him and watch him move. Like in one of the verses says, taste and see that the Lord is good. So you need to come, you need to taste, and you need to see. First of all, you need to invite him into your life, and then allow him to change you. Thank thank you so much for listening. I hope that gives you hope. Get the Bible, get the verses, which is around peace, around subject of fear, where it says that God did not give us a spirit of fear. He gave us power, love, and sound mind. And there's a phrase used throughout the Bible where he always says, fear not, and trust him. Thank you. Bye.